Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is lesson 4 for your computer science complete course for class 12 session 21-22. So we are doing Python revision tour, so which is divided into two parts, Python revision tour 1 and Python revision tour 2. So if you are following any of the books like Sumita Arora, Preeti Arora or even NCERT, so the complete syllabus which you have done in class 11th for Python, you have to revise that in 12th, and questions from that are also asked in the board exams. That's why it's very important, right? Till now we have revised the very basic terms in programming, we have revised how to check conditions, we have done how to use loops. Today we are going to revise Python's primitive data structures called list and tuples, right? So Python has a predefined set of data structures which are used to store and manage the data. Although you have data structure as a topic in your class 12 syllabus also, where you will be creating your own data structures like linked list, stack, queue and all. But right now we are revising what you did in 11th. So these are called core data structures in Python, right? We have 4 which you have to study as per your syllabus. Those 4 are tuples, list, string and dictionary, right? Before we start today's lesson, before I tell you about all this, I would like to tell you that I am a Plus educator on Unacademy, which is India's largest online education platform. And tomorrow afternoon, that is 1 p.m, I'm going to have a poll session, that is a quiz based on loops in Python, right? So like we had a polls on the basis of basic Python programming, this happened yesterday, but I'm going to have another poll tomorrow that will be based on the loops and the output questions which uses loops, right? So the link for these two classes, that is the MCQs, the multiple choice questions based on basics of Python, I'm going to give this link in the description of this video, as well as I will be giving you the link for tomorrow's live session. So it's absolutely free. You just have to join in and you have to use this code, that is my name, Anjali Luthra or Anjali Live. You have to use any of this code to unlock the class. Otherwise you can attend it from the website, you can attend it from the app. It's absolutely free, right? To download the app, I will also provide the links in the description. Now let's continue with our topic. So tuple or list, how do we define it? These are collection of values, so collection of heterogeneous values. So there are multiple values which you can keep in them, and those values can be of different data types. It doesn't need that the values which you are going to store should be of same data type. One can be integer, another can be float, another can be string. So it can be collection of multiple data types. So it is a collection of values of any data type, or technically we call it heterogeneous data type, right? But what is the major difference between the two then? So the major difference between the two is tuple is immutable. So you have done it in 11th, it's not something very new you're doing over here, but still to brush up, tuple is immutable and list is mutable. What do we mean by this? So values once stored cannot be modified. So if you store some values in a tuple, you cannot modify those values. You cannot add new values. You cannot remove any value. So it is data and size immutable. We can't change the data. We can't change the size. Whereas list is mutable. You can add new elements to it. You can remove existing elements. You can modify the existing values. We can modify the existing values as well. So that's why it is called mutable. Now for example, what I do is, if I have to create a tuple, we will be writing like this: 3, 7, 9.0, high 20, like this. So this is a tuple. Whereas if you write b is equal to square bracket, so one major difference comes in the brackets also. In tuple you use round brackets, in list you use square brackets. So that is one primary difference between the two, right, in the appearance. So that is how they are created. Now fetching is almost the same. the way you fetch from tuples, the same way you can fetch from a list. So if I have to see the third element, so they are indexed. First element is at position 0, that is index 0. So we call the positions as index. So first element is at position 0, second element is at 1. Then you have 2, 3, 4. Similar way out here. So if you write here print A2, it will print 9.0. If you write here print B2, this will also print 9.0. So it's absolutely same. But the thing is, if I try to change the value, if I try to change A1 to 10, and similar way I try to change this one to 10. Now this is absolutely correct. This will modify, the 7 will be changed to 10. But over here we will be getting an error, and the error is said to be type error, and your program terminates right there, and it says that assignment is not possible in this data type. So assignment is not possible with this data type. We cannot assign a value. So in tuple you cannot assign a value. Tuples cannot be modified. Clear? One major difference, mutable and immutable. I hope it's very much clear to you that how they differ. If it's clear, so do click the like button right now, right? And let's proceed further. Now another difference is, if you have to create a list of a single element, it's very easy. You just write A10. This will create a list with a single element. But if you want to create a tuple with a single element, this will not create a tuple with a single element. Here 10 will be taken as a normal integer. It won't be considered as a tuple. So you must put a comma after this. So in case there is a single value, we must put a comma to say that it is not a single value, it is a collection, so that it should consider it as a tuple. But in case of list, we have no such restriction. Fine, that's another difference. Other than this, we have so many functions which can work on them. For example, we have a function called count. So you have done all these in 11th. If you want to do these in very much detail, then you have to follow the classes when I do it for class 11th in detail, right? But for the time being, count means that you have to count for a number in your list. If you write a dot count 15, so it will count that how many times 15 comes in the list. So this can be used with list as well as tuple. You can have a dot index, which tells me that if I pass a number, if I'm passing 20, it tells me at which position 20 appears in the list. So same works for tuple, right? A dot sorted will sort your list or tuple and return the sorted list of values. So it returns the sorted list of values, but it does not change the original one, right? So a dot sorted is there, count is there, index is there. So such functions which we have, they can be used with both. You want to find the length, so you can write length of A or length of B. We'll get to know the number of elements in the tuple or in the list. So these which are not modifying it can be used both with tuples as well as with list. But we have functions like append. The purpose of append is to add a new value at the end of a list. This cannot be used with tuples. So only with list. We cannot use it with tuples because this is mutating. It is modifying the value of the list. So a dot append new value. We can use a dot insert, where we give the value and the position where to insert it. So this can be used with list, not with tuple. A dot pop, which removes the value from the list. A dot remove, that also removes the value. The difference is, in remove we give the value to be removed, the number itself which you want to remove. In pop, if you leave it blank, by default it deletes the last element of the list. So by default the last element of the list is deleted. But here you can give a position also. If you give the position, then it deletes from that specific position, right? Then we have a dot extend, that is used to combine two lists together to make one list. So these are the operations, and we have sort, which modifies your list. So a dot sort will modify your list itself. It does not return, but it modifies the current list in an increasing order. So these can be used only with lists because they are mutable. They are modifying the values. Fine. We will be conducting various multiple choice question on list and tuples also next week on Unacademy. So just follow my profile on Unacademy and join the Telegram group link which I am giving in the description. So whenever we have such classes, you will be getting the links shared on that Telegram group. So you can attend these classes and practice the questions which can be asked in the board exams based on these things, right? So the questions which can be asked on the basis of list and tuples. So now, like for the whole coming week, I'm having this quiz thing for all these topics. We had on the basics, that is how to use variables, identifiers and all. We had that yesterday. Tomorrow we are going to have for loops. Then we are going to have for list and tuples. Then I'll be having for dictionaries, and then I'll be having for strings. So all these revision tour topics will be covered in multiple choice questions. So 25 questions we do in one class. So it is very much effective, very much useful, because questions like that you're going to get in your board exam. So don't miss these classes, right? The link will be given in the description, or just join the Telegram group or follow me. Once you follow me, you will be getting the notifications whenever I come live on Unacademy, right? So let's continue. This was one thing. After that, a very important thing with list is slicing. So be it your list or your tuple. Next thing you have is slicing. First I'll tell you here, and then I'll show you practically also how does it work. Now, what happens in slicing? Slicing means taking out some part, cutting it into parts. So when you want to cut it into parts, how do you do that? If you have a list 10, 13, 25, 18, 26, 90. So this is my list, right? Now I want to divide it into parts. So I write A, starting position, colon, ending position, right? So you write A 2 colon 6. Now what happens is, we have these indices. So these are the index of the elements. Let's say 2 colon 5. So these are the index. Now this says that we have to start from position 2. That means I will pick up 25. Then I'll pick up 18. I'll pick up 26. That's it. I'll stop. I will not pick up the ending position, because ending position has to be excluded. We stop one position before that. So I'm going to start from 2, but I will stop one position before this. So I'm going to get only 25, 18, 26. So there are different ways of writing this slicing part. One is you give start and ending both. So we get it like this. Another option is that you give start and you don't give the ending. Just leave it. For example, if I give A3 colon, that's it. So starting from position 3, it is going to pick all the elements till the end. So it will pick all the elements till the end. In case your colon is here and you miss the start, but you have given the end. So if you miss the start and you have given the end, like you give A colon 4, so it's going to start from the very first number, that is position 0, and will pick till 1 less than this, that is 0, 1, 2, 3 will be fetched. Clear? So we can have start and end both. We can just have start, we can just have end, or we can have a start, an end and a step. So by default the step is 1, but if you don't want to just go next, you want to skip elements in between, so I can give step which can be 2, 3, 4, anything like that. I'll show you how does it work. So this is your Python IDLE. Let me minimize this. So we have our Python IDLE file, new file. Okay, so if I have this list A 12, 90, 67, 90, 34, and I just save this, give some name and execute. So this is my IDLE. I just didn't write that intentionally because I wanted this screen where I can run this. So I've taken this list now Now see, if I give 2 colon 4, so I will be getting only 2 numbers, that is from position 2 and 3. If I write A colon 3, I'm getting all the numbers up to index 3. If I write A2 colon, I'll get everything from 2. If I write 0, 4, 2, not comma, colon, so I get this. I get the position 0, then I get position 2, right? Then you can give anything. You can even have it in reverse. You can have 4, 2, minus 1. So I'll have not comma, you have to give colon. So always remember, when you are doing slicing, you will not put a comma, that is an error. So you have to put colon always. So it will go in reverse. It will pick 34 first, that is at index 4, then index 3, but it will not fetch 2 because we stopped 1 before, right? So 4, 2, minus 1. If you take a list and you don't give anything at all, you don't give anything, right? I just give colon colon and press enter. So I get all the numbers. If you write A colon colon 2, so it will show all with a gap of 2. So 12, 67, 34. If you want the same in reverse, so you give minus 2. So it will be 34, 67, 12. If you want the whole list in reverse, give minus 1. So this is called slicing, and it works the same way with tuples. So it works the same way with list as well as tuples, right? So in the board exam, you will get question based on slicing, maybe based on some of the functions used with list and tuples, but surely you will get 1 mark question on this. I hope it's clear with all these things. If nothing is clear or if something is there, excuse me, what is not clear, feel free to write in the comments below. You can ask your doubts to me on the Telegram as well, or in the live classes on Unacademy. And by the time I upload more, keep watching, keep learning. Don't forget to share this video with all your classmates, and do subscribe the channel. Share my channel with your juniors as well, because I will be starting for class 11th next week. That is it for this video. Take care, stay home, stay safe.